My father-in-law ripped up my disability check in front of everyone. Real men work, not live off handouts. My wife said nothing as he threw the pieces at me. What he didn't realize was that the postman who delivered it was still at the door. He cleared his throat and said, "Sir, that's a federal crime." My father-in-law tore the check in half, then in half again, then again. White confetti of federal currency fluttering onto the mahogany dining table, landing in my wife's chocolate mousse, scattering across the lace tablecloth her mother had spent an hour ironing that morning. $1,800. My disability check, the only income keeping me and Lisa afloat while I couldn't work, gone. "This is what I think of handouts," Robert said, his voice carrying across the silent dining room. 12 pairs of eyes watched him throw the scraps at me. They hit my chest. My lap tumbled to the hardwood floor. "Maybe now you'll get off your ass and find real work." I sat there, frozen. Pieces of Social Security Administration, check number 847392614, scattered around me like evidence at a crime scene. That's when Carl spoke. "Sir." Everyone turned. The mailman was still standing in the doorway to the dining room, still holding his leather satchel, still in his blue USPS uniform with 23 years of service pins on the collar. I'd forgotten he was there. "That's a federal crime. I'd been married to Lisa for 4 years. 4 good years, mostly. We'd met at a community college fundraiser where she was volunteering, and I was donating materials from the construction company I worked for. She was beautiful, dark hair, warm smile, the kind of person who made you feel like the most important person in the room. We'd dated for 8 months before I proposed, got married at her parents' church in Tacoma, small ceremony, 50 people. Robert had given a toast about how he was trusting me with his daughter and how I'd better not let her down. I'd promised I wouldn't. The first 3 years were great. I was making decent money as a construction foreman, $58,000 a year plus overtime. We'd saved up for a down payment on a house. We're talking about kids, had plans. Then came November 17th, 2021, the day that changed everything. We were working on a commercial build in downtown Seattle, 7-story office complex. I was on the 3rd floor coordinating a steel beam installation with the crane operator. The rigging failed. A 2-ton I-beam, 20 feet long, swung loose from the crane cable at 2:47 p.m., hit me square in the lower back, drove me into the concrete floor. I remember the sound, like a tree branch snapping, but the branch was my spine. 2 shattered vertebrae, L4 and L5, herniated discs, nerve damage. The orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Patricia Yee, told me I was lucky to walk, that if the beam had hit 6 inches higher, I'd be paralyzed from the waist down. "But you'll never do physical labor again," she'd said. "Your back can't take it. 20 pounds is your max lifting capacity. Anything more risks permanent paralysis." I'd been out of work for 3 years. Workers' comp had covered the surgeries, the physical therapy, the medications. But after 18 months, they'd determined I'd reached maximum medical improvement. Translation: this was as good as I was going to get. So I'd applied for Social Security disability insurance. The process took 14 months. Forms, medical records, 3 separate examinations by Social Security doctors, a hearing before an administrator